Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video we're going to be talking about conditionals. This is where programming starts to get a bit interesting. Conditions is what you use to start giving your program some logic, using variables or some kind of input, and based on that you have a bit of code run. Okay, so we will start off by checking the structure of an if statement. Below you can see an example of an if-else statement. We will go through and explain each section of this if statement. Just for the purposes of this example, we will be using a variable called var(x), which would be of value 10. Okay, so let's go through the structure. First is the keyword if. This essentially just tells JavaScript that you would like to start an if statement. Next up, after the if, we get the parentheses. In the parentheses you add the expression that you would like to evaluate. In this case we are checking if var(x), which is equal to 10, is greater than 5. After the parentheses we get the curly braces. This is to indicate where the code block is. Anything inside the parentheses will be run if the expression is true. In this case, var(x) is larger than 5, thus it will return true, printing the message number is larger than 5. In some cases, your if statement will also have an else. This is essentially what will happen if the first comparison is false. It will then run the next expression. So in this case, if the expression were to be false, it will print out the number is smaller than 5. Below we can look at a flow diagram of a basic if statement. In this case var(x) is 10, so we check is var(x) larger than 5. If it's true, then we can print out the number is larger than 5, and we can run any additional code if it's true. If however var(x) in this case would be 4, we'll say is it larger than 5? No. Then the number is smaller than 5, and then run any code that you would like to. Now we will look at some comparators. In any if statement there is more than one way to compare a few things. So the first comparator is equal to, denoted by 2 equals. This checks if the two values are both equal. As an example, if 3 equals 3, that would be true. Next we have not equals to. In most cases with JavaScript, if you want the opposite of a particular thing, you can just use the exclamation mark for not. So in this case the exclamation equals. This checks to make sure that two values are not equal. So in this case 2 not equal to 3 is true. Next comparator is the greater than. Just the greater than symbol. This just checks if A is bigger than value B. So in this case, is 3 larger than 2? That is true. Then we have the less than. This checks if value A is less than value B. So in this case, 7 smaller than 9. This equals true. Then we can go on to the greater than or equal to. So this is an inclusive check. Check to see if value A is greater than or equal to value B. So in the example, is 9 greater than or equal to 7? That is true. If it were to say 7 greater than or equal to 7, that would also be true. Less than or equal to, denoted by the less than symbol and an equals, checks if a value is less than or equal to the value B. In this case we're checking is 3 smaller than or equal to 11. In this case it is true. Now we will see examples of each of the operators in both the true and false side. So first up we have the equals. In this case the expression is true as 3 does equal 3. In this example we are checking if 2 is equal to 3. In this case the expression is false as 2 is not equal to 3. Now we will be checking the not equals operator. So 2 not equal to 3, that is true. And just to show you a false for this one, is 3 not equal to 3. In this case it is false as 3 does equal 3. Then we have the greater than. Is 3 greater than 2? In this case the expression is true as 3 is larger than 2. Then here we can see a false version, 4 greater than 5, that is false. Same with the smaller than. Is 2 smaller than 3? In this case the expression is true as 2 is smaller than 3. In this case we can see a false as 5 is not smaller than 4. This is the larger than or equal to. In this case we can see that 3 is in fact larger than or equal to 3, as 3 does equal 3, so that is true. Here we can see a false. 2 is not greater than or equal to 3. Same with the less than or equal to. In this case 3 less than or equal to 3. This is true as 3 is equal to 3. Less than or equal to, we can check again here, the 4 is not less than or equal to 3, so this is false. Congratulations, you've officially leveled up in programming. We've got 2 or 3 more videos in this series, just with the introductories, after which we will then go into setting up our JavaScript environment and start working on making our first program. Thank you very much for watching.